Hello, welcome back to Premier League Dad. How are we all doing? We are live for West Ham United against Spurs. After an afternoon of Premier League football, which wasn't great, was it? Let's be honest. It was a pretty drab and dull afternoon. And to be honest, everything went wrong as far as bets went. I mean, Wrexham got battered at home off QPR. West Brom got beat at home off Derby. Doncaster got smashed away at Wigan. Huddersfield got smashed away at Bradford. Oh, it all just went wrong today, didn't it? It all just went wrong. So, hopefully today, hopefully this one goes a little bit better. I've got Spurs or draw, which, if you're a smart bettor, then I'll be honest, you're probably sticking money on West Ham right now. Because everything I'm putting on, it ain't this. Right, hang on, I need to change the lineups, don't I? So the lineups are as follows. Hang on a second. So West Ham, obviously Kudus coming back to his old stomping ground. So how does he get on? He's starting up front with Tell and Simons. West Ham have got Fernandes, Lucas Paqueta and Somerville behind Jared Bowen. So, one sec, let me get the lineups up on screen on YouTube if you're watching along with us. Shelley says draw. You think so? Okay, well, Hermanson. Juve, Souček, Fernandes, Paqueta, Somerville, and Bowen, and then it's Tot, Vicario, Spence, Van der Ven, Romero, Porro, Bergval, Sarr, Palhinha, Kudus, Simons, Tell. There you go. That is the lineup. So, I've put that up on YouTube if you want to go and check it out. It's there. What we saying? Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Cheers for that. We are going to be live for this one, and then straight after it, Brentford against Chelsea tonight. Liam Manning, how's it going? We were unlucky not to get a point. Absolutely gutted. Mate, I was thinking about that, you know. You literally scored. It was a 95th minute own goal, wasn't it, from a new signing, Goodmanson. Absolutely shocking. Mary says, thoughts on Borough today? Borough, did they lose in the end? They threw it away, didn't they, at the end at Deepdale? Or did they equalise? I can't remember. We was live at the time for Arsenal. Yeah, they got a point in the end, didn't they? 90... It was a late equaliser, wasn't it? Yeah, 93rd minute. 93rd minute. Unlucky for Preston, I guess. But yeah, Borough stay unbeaten, stay close to the top of the league. Fair play to him. Nick says, hello, good evening. Prediction, Bilbao v Alaves. I've gone Bilbao or draw. Mr. Default says United. Right, well, we're coming out here at Upton Park. Nearly said Upton Park then. The Olympic Stadium. Ben, an absolutely shocking day of betting. Who saw Wigan battering Donny? I know, mate. That killed me as well. I had Huddersfield against Bradford earlier in the day as well. Huddersfield or draw. That knocked me down. There's a load, to be honest. Reese, we're due a thriller, mate. A very stale afternoon in the Premier League. 3-2 Spurs is my out there prediction. What price a Kudus goal? Well, I'll have a look for you. Why not? Let's have a look at Kudus. What is the price for a goal? There's quite a few predicting a Kudus card today because he got booked in the previous game between these two, albeit as a West Ham player. So, yeah. Paquetá to foul. Paquetá fouls pretty much every single game, so he's probably worth a look. But in terms of a card, Kudus is definitely worth one. Kudus to score any time is 3.5 to 1. You can get him to score or assist is nearly 2.5 to 1. Ben didn't touch any of the early kickoffs. I usually stay well clear of them. And a smart man you are for that reason, sir. Taylor, how's it going? Good to see you. LH, who's playing, bro? We're watching West Ham against Spurs. Ben, I had Exeter to beat Port Vale at home and they got done 2-0. That done me bad. Stay away from League 2. Honestly, League 2, I generally don't go lower typically than Championship. League 1 is, you might as well, you could literally have top v bottom playing in League 1 and League 2 and it wouldn't matter. Top v bottom, top playing at home and they'd get beat. It just doesn't matter, goes completely out the window in League 1 and 2. So I've no time for it, won't bet on League 1 and 2. I had Villa or draw and Everton today. That's gone all right. Obviously, that's still running. I had Leeds win. That came through in the end. I had Coventry or draw against West Brom. They managed to get a 96th-minute equaliser, so that one worked out. I had Bristol City away at Sheffield Wednesday. That came out. I think that's about it, to be honest. The beauty of the EFL. That's it, mate. Absolutely. Liam Manning saying with the Championship really key. That's true enough. Yeah, it's definitely true enough. You can't really predict at any level. Let's be honest. Real Madrid were very, very close to throwing it away today. They was, I think, 2-1 up, and had a man sent off, and very nearly threw it away in the end. Peter Scouse says, I see Gyökeres scored against another weaker team. It was a tap-in, and it was offside as well. Peter, I promise, if you watch it back, he was offside. I don't know how they've not given it. It's another one of them, like Burnley. M15, how are we? Who's playing? I'm good, mate. How are you? I am watching West Ham against Spurs. Tottenham Hotspur. Pete, he only shows up for weak teams. Didn't show up against Liverpool or Man U. No, he got ran off the park against good teams, doesn't he? I mean, it's going to be a problem for him. Right, we're off here at the Olympic Stadium. West Ham against Spurs. Come on then, let's have a game. Let's have goals in this one, please. Ostermore, how are we, Kee? Some boring 3 p.m. games, wasn't there? I think I made a right solid decision swerving the Everton game. Because I watched it with my dad, and it was absolutely shocking. Like, really, really poor to watch. It was difficult, and Everton weren't great, Villa weren't great. There wasn't really any clear chances in the game. So I'm glad we bypassed that one, to be honest, because we'd have ended up just sat here talking shite, as we normally do anyway, to be honest. We talk shite whether it's a good game or a bad one, don't we? Let's be honest. Go on, Spurs. Out for a throw-in. Juventus 1-1. Hakan Çalhanoğlu's just scored for Inter to equalise in Turin. Ben, I've done another cheeky acca. Spurs, Napoli, Bilbao and Chelsea. Both teams to score. Honestly, you love them BTTSU. Stay away from them. Ben, Villa still without a goal. Yeah, still without a goal. Don't look like scoring either. Ben, Watkins is done. Liam Manning says I'd take Solanke on loan, to be fair, at Leeds. I know Solanke, he's gone from being a £60 million striker to not really being able to get a kick for Spurs. So, yeah, it might well be the case that he does leave in January. Peter Scouse's another Haaland tapping merchant at best, or shows up only against the weaker sides. And Liam, I can see Solanke going from Spurs in Jan. I just don't think he fits in. Well, yeah, I mean, it's who he goes to, though. Again, it's 60 million quid from Bournemouth. It feels like he would want to move to a team that's competing in and around the European places. But he's no chance, absolutely no chance at all of, getting in the England squad or anything like that, has he? He's never going to play for England. Not under Tuchel, anyway. Ostermorg says, had Semenyo in my FPL at least, and Ben says Villa will be around 11th, 12th this season, I think. I get the feeling that Unai Emery resigns before long. Yeah, it feels like he's just going through the motions a little bit. And he looked really frustrated today on the touchline. And yeah, I don't know what it is, what's going on at Villa, but he's by far, he's one of the most highest paid managers in world football, Unai Emery. He's a really, really well paid fella, and he isn't really producing the goods. So, it wouldn't surprise me at all if he does end up leaving. Ben says only the Chelsea game beat ETS, the others are just straight results. See, I stay away from those results. Stick on draw, no bets. At least gives you a chance of recovering if there's a draw. Callum says, I did say the 3 PM game would be shite. You did, you called it, and we didn't watch it. Ben, I'd be sad. Emery's a very good coach and is good to have in the Prem. Just feel like he's a little bit too demanding for what Aston Villa wants. He needs a club that's going to... They haven't got it right, have they, at Villa? They've spent a fortune and they haven't got it on the right players, and maybe the setup isn't right behind the scenes. I don't know, but... Doesn't feel like he's getting the sorts of players that he wants either through the door. He's had to make do with Lindelof, and there's no way Gessand is an Unai Emery signing. Evan Gessand is not an Unai Emery signing. Harvey Elliott might be, but I still don't think he is, to be honest. He wanted Lucas Paquetá, didn't he? That's more of an Unai Emery signing. And he couldn't get it over the line, so they went for Harvey Elliott. I just feel like he's having to make do a little bit. Gaz, Kee is my last name. Hey, there you go. I like it. Nice. Gaz ain't my last name. That would have been funny. But at least, hey, there you go. We've got similar names. Right. 3-star Reds, good day, mate. Not a bonza day in North East London or North London today. We go again next week. Yeah, it wasn't fantastic, was it, for Forest today? Callum, 4 games, 0 goals, 4 more goals than he equals Palace's record. Is it Palace who've got the record for no goals in the opening? I know that Villa are the only team currently in all of England's top 7 professional leagues, I believe, that hasn't scored a goal yet. Villa are the only team not to do that. Ben, Lindelof was the biggest signing of the biggest sign of Villa's stagnation, if ever I did see one. See, I think Lindelof's a pretty astute signing. He's on free. He's a free signing. He's a centre-back. He's very experienced. Still plays at international level. He's played at Champions League football. He's not a terrible centre-back. That's not a terrible signing. If you need cover at centre-back, bringing in an experienced pro on a free is probably not the worst type of signing you could bring in. The ones that are really sort of... I'm not sure about that. Your Jadon Sancho's, where they're paying massive loan money and wages. That doesn't make any sense to me. Evan Gessand, they paid pretty big money for him. Daniel Marlon, even before that. Daniel Marlon doesn't look like he does an awful lot. Doesn't belong in the Premier League. So there's a fair few questions. I mean, Onana for me. Amadou Onana, 50 million quid. There's quite a few signings Villa have made over the last couple of years. Don't let them tell you for 1 second that they've had it really tough and that, it's FFP and all this. It's nonsense. They just spent money really badly. He spent something like 300 million quid incredibly badly. Joe, how's it going? Good to see you. Liam, we've only scored 1 and that was a pen. Life of Reese, Sunderland have got Villa next. Bring on the Villa. Leeds are falling apart. Joe says, what were you saying about Voltamada? He's got more goals than Isak this season. Hey, to be fair, mate, it was a tap-in. And that's the only thing he did all day, innit, really? But, hey, it's a good start for him. Takes a lot to score past Wolves. 3-star Red. Some promising performances, though, to take from our new signings in Calamendo and Bakwa when they came on. No Luiz, though, yet again. I was surprised why he didn't play Douglas Luiz today. Douglas Luiz was tailor-made for that midfield. Why does he keep putting Sangare in? Sangare is absolutely dreadful. Awful player. Joe, have you heard yourself? Like I said, he's done well. But, you know, context. He's shit, mate. Crouchy right now is better. Enjoy your little point at Palace. Oh, here we go. Come on. Let's play nice. Xavi Simons. Oh, brilliant play. Bergval. Porro, hit it. Johns has finally got home. Quality day out in Preston. Here's Kudus. It's going to be a corner. Good block from Somerville. Chimey, how's it going? Good to see you. Shelley would like a hammer win, but probs a draw. And 3-star Reds took Sangari on, and instead of Louise, disappointed Yates got the nod. I would have put Yates on ahead of Sangari, but I would have had Louise on before him. Louise should have started. I don't understand why he hasn't. Juventus 2, Inter Milan 1. Corner for Spurs, whipped in, headed away to the edge of the box. Be yourself, Dylan. Hi again. I'm taking my girl Camilla to a dance show in Birmingham. Lovely. Oh, very nice. That'll be great, that, mate. Enjoy it. Life of Reese, did he play a high line versus Arsenal? Yildiz with the goal, Ostermorg. Here's Kudus. Dancing through the West Ham defence. Ball in. Headed away just about by Mavropanos. It's going to be offside. Good choice for not watching Everton. It was like paint drying. Oh, I know, mate. It wasn't good. I did watch it in the end. I just didn't watch it on live, but it was pretty dreadful. Russell Martin sacked after losing 2-0 to Hearts. Oh, question mark. I thought he would have been sacked already. I mean, I'm amazed that he made it to the Hearts game, to be honest. But he's got to be, hasn't he? He has to get sacked, surely. Angry crowd outside Ibrox calling for Russell Martin to be sacked. He's come out now and told them to get back on the team bus. Oh, no. Oh, by the way, I was watching before, and they announced that I didn't realise this, but Russell Holt. Do you remember Russell Holt used to be a Premier League goalkeeper with West Brom and with Derby and a few other teams. Unfortunately, he's got a terminal cancer. He's not in a great way. I think they're going through palliative care and everything at the moment, but really, really good keeper. Proper Barclays man back in the day, and very, very sad news. So, lots of love to Russell Holt and his family and all that good stuff. It's, yeah, very, very sad to hear. Shocked when I saw it. Can't say that I'm a West Brom fan or a Derby fan, but I always remember Russell Holt. He made a couple of really, really big saves in games when Liverpool played those teams. Funnily enough, he always tended to turn up. So, yeah, good keeper, and sad to see him not feeling so well. Hopefully he's better today. Albeit West Brom got beat by Derby, his other team. So there you go. BSL Dillon Rangers winless in the first 5 games since 1978. Oh, see, we're witnessing history. We are literally witnessing history. There's people whose parents won't have been born before 78. Well, by 1978. My parents were born before 78. But, do you know what I mean? There'll be some who's like, oh my God, we're literally witnessing history that our parents haven't witnessed. John says, pretty sure someone spotted Bonnie Blue at the Rangers game. What the hell is she doing there? I don't know. Maybe she's... I don't know. I'm not even going to venture a guess on that one. Ryan, what do you think's gone wrong with Villa this season? 4 games, 0 wins, 0 goals scored. I think they're missing pace in wide areas, mate. I think it's the same sort of issue that a lot of teams are having, is they've gone too big on the, oh, that's a big chance, must be a goal, oh, nearly 1-0 West Ham. They've gone too big on the whole inverted wingers thing. That's been a problem for a lot of teams, right? Like, I feel like Mohamed Salah and Bukayo Saka and, you know, Brian Mbeumo and all these people in the Premier League who are really, really talented wide players who can cut inside, and they've got a little bit of pace, but even if they've not got a massive amount of pace, they're still sort of able to get around the pitch and be tactically disciplined, and they create chances and create space. Feels like if you go down that route and you don't have wide players with pace, what you end up with is a team that can't really get bodies forward. And that's what Villa have got at the minute. Feels like they've got Ollie Watkins through the middle, who does have a little bit of pace, but they've got, if you look to the wide areas, you've got, you know, Gesand, who can't, he's not adapted to the Premier League just yet. Sancho, again, not really blessed with pace. Harvey Elliott, again, love him a lot, but he's not blessed with pace. Marlon, not blessed with pace. Last year, they had a little bit of experience in Asensio. They had a player who could drift in and cause problems, and they also had Rashford. Rashford did have a lot of pace, if nothing else. He wasn't great on the ball, but he had a lot of pace, didn't he? Ostermore Key, 16 points on the FPL, still got 5 to play, and have Vendoven, Juve and Kudas playing right now. Ooh, that's not bad going. 3-star Reds, I applauded that first Arsenal goal, though. Not even a world-class keeper would have stopped that. Oh, I don't know, mate. That was straight down the middle of the goal. I think if Murillo hadn't have got a deflection on it, he probably would have saved it. It wasn't actually... It was a great strike, but it wasn't like right in the corner. It was just more the fact that it went through a lot of bodies, I think. 3-star Reds. Oh, we've done that one. Sorry, Shelley. Very sad about Russell Holt, yep. Very, very sad. Eastleigh goal, says Liam, and beat yourself, Dylan, buying 2-0 up already. Yeah, Ryan, coming back to Villa, what do you think? Coming back to, I guess, why you think Villa haven't scored so many goals. Let's open that up to the floor. What do you think the reason is? Why have Villa not Scored a goal in 4 games and not looked like scoring in many of them, to be honest. They were crap against Palace. They were awful today. I honestly can't remember a clear chance they created in the Everton game today. John Steve says, check out the footwork from Naipan for Butta's first goal. He's going to be a baller. Sverre Naipan, the on loan Manchester City winger. Yeah, we'll have to have a look at that. Here's Spurs. Xavi Simons on the left-hand side. Cuts in. Oh, corner ball, sir. Thank you. Should have shot earlier there. I don't know why he didn't shoot earlier. But again, this is another example of it. Xavi Simons, a wide player that cuts inside, isn't particularly blessed with pace. I just feel like a lot of teams are going for this inside forward, playing out wide. But if they've not got pace, they don't stretch the pitch. And all you end up with is a really compact, congested middle of the park and nobody really getting forward. So unless you're going to put your fullbacks stupidly high, it just becomes a bit redundant, doesn't it? Ostermorg, I thought Forest had some decent spells in that game though. Maybe when Ange has more time, could be a threat this season. Yes, yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Spurs ball in. Header, 1-0. It's 1-0. Is it counting? Romero, surely he's got to count that. Oh, he's give a free kick. He's give a free kick. This one's going to be VAR. Romero is not happy. He's not happy. What's he give a foul for? What's the foul for? That's not a foul. That is never a foul. Come on. That wasn't a foul. Who's the foul on here? The keeper pushes him. No. No. The keeper pushes him. That is not a foul. That is not a foul. That is absolutely sickening. If this gets ruled out, I'm sorry, the goalkeeper pushes his own man. This is so wrong. This is so wrong if this gets given as a foul. I'm sorry, that is ridiculous. No, come on. Ref, you can't. You've got to check this. You've got to check this, ref. You've got to check this. This is an abomination, this one. This is an absolute disgrace if this doesn't get checked. Oh my God, he's give the foul. He has given the foul. This is outrageous. Spurs fans, I have no idea. I'd be raging. I would be raging if I was a Spurs fan right now. Leon Meek, bro, do you think United will win tomorrow? No, absolutely not. Swifty, never a foul. It wasn't, was it? It really wasn't a foul. Honestly, I don't understand how that is a foul. Thomas Frank he's got to be livid. He's gone straight over to the fourth official there. Straight over to the fourth. That's absolutely abhorrent, that. I'm sorry. I don't understand how awful foul, send him off. How has anyone looked at that? VAR have to look at that as a serious misjudgment, a serious error from the referee and advise him to go and have a look at it. He has ruled out a goal for absolutely no reason there. Zero reason. The goalkeeper pushes his own player. Shocking, that. Liam Manning, surely Walker-Peters was holding his shirt but wasn't looked at. No, it's more that the Walker-Peters goes down, but it's because he got a shove in the back. He definitely got a shove, but if you watch it back, it's the goalkeeper that shoves him. It's his own goalkeeper that shoves him, and then he goes down. There's no excuse at all for that. The referee had to go and check it. He didn't check it. I am disgusted about that, and I'm not even a Spurs fan, but that is absolutely horrendous decision-making from the referee. Swifty, they were all leaning on each other and he was just at the end. That's true enough. Killer Donut, Romero and one player of choice player need to get a lifetime ban. Why? West Ham with the ball over to the far post. Souček. Easy claim for the keeper. Horrible foul. 3-star Reds, nothing changed then with the Premier League, Shelley, it seems. Another dodgy decision, says Shelley. Just doesn't make sense. I can understand them getting things wrong, but that is absolutely going to be another one of them where Howard Webb comes out and says, we got it wrong, we apologise. We're sorry, Spurs fans, we got it wrong. Now, Spurs fans have had, Spurs have had a fair rub of the green, to be fair, with decisions from referees. We remember the Luis Diaz goal not that long ago where VAR perfectly disallowed disallowed a perfectly fine goal. So Spurs have had the rub of the green, and now maybe it's coming around the other way, but that's wrong. That's so bad. Leon Meeks says, bro, Cardiff had a late goal and grab a draw. They did, yeah. Cardiff, another one that I was hoping would get at least a point today against Stockport. Dave Challoner not having a great time of it this season at Stockport, it has to be said. Okay, corner to... Oh, no, it's a replay of the goal. Watch the shove here from the keeper. Watch it. He is shoving his own man. No, you can't have that. I'm sorry. That's ridiculous. Ostermore, Key, don't remind me about that Spurs game. I was at a wedding that day. I was at a wedding and I just saw that Liverpool were level. Even though we'd had 2 men sent off, hadn't we? And we had Jota and Curtis Jones sent off. And it was 1-1. And then I saw that Matip goal. It was literally last kick of the game, wasn't it? Matip on goal. Biggest injustice ever, that game. Ostermorg, worst thing was it's not even like it was match fixing, it was just pure incompetence. To be honest, I think most decisions, if not all decisions we see in the Premier League are just incompetence. I don't actually think there is any match fixing or anything or corruption. I really don't think there is. Maybe I'm just naive, but I don't think there is any of that. I just think it's really bad referees. Just really inept referees that have never really played football before either. We've got a load of milk monitors. That's what we've got. We've got milk monitors who were last picked in school in football and PE. And now they're having to, exert their authority. They've got a little bit of authority in a whistle. And they're like, substitute teachers having a whinge. 3-star Reds, do you think Key, when Howard Webb comes out with the we made a mistake and it ends 0-0, do you think the result should be changed? No, you can't do that. You can't retrospectively change results. No. And I said that at the time, to be fair, when Luis Diaz scored, that was so wrong and everyone knew it was wrong. But you can't just say, oh, well, Liverpool win the game. Or Liverpool get a point or whatever, because you don't know how that goal changes the game. So, and you can't order a game to continuously be replayed, because, Christ, the players are stretched enough as it is. So, no, I can't say you should change things based on retrospective errors. Liam Manning, he shoved Van der Ven into Peters and he went down like a sack of shit. Well, Thomas Frank is not very happy, let's say that. Matthijs Tel limping currently. He's not looking particularly happy either. Shelley, what you said about retired players was a good idea. I thought so too. At least if we have retired players as referees, I think they'd be quite glad of the limelight. Even if it was just, like I said, average Premier League or average Championship. Just players who've played to a reasonable level. It doesn't have to be anything fantastic. But I think you get a load of ex-players who'd want to referee in the Premier League. If they said, we're gonna train up some ex-pros so they know the laws of the game. They're all still fit. They like being around the game. They're not going to get overawed by the occasion. Let's put you in there. Why not? And we already know where your loyalties stand, don't we? This is the thing. There's no... you couldn't have Mark Noble refereeing a West Ham game because we know that Mark Noble is a big hammer and he doesn't want anyone other. So, and you couldn't have him involved in any games that affected West Ham, but you could have him involved in maybe Liverpool against City or Liverpool against United. I'd be quite happy to have a Mark Noble refereeing us in that game. No problem with that. I'd certainly rather Mark Noble refereeing us than, Kavanagh or someone like that. Lou says one foul, one off on the 12-1, lad. Did you back Gessan foul? I didn't back Gessan, no, because you said it was only one, didn't you? And you ended up doing 2 at 9-1. I would never have backed that. I would never have said. I mean, that's fantastic, well done, but I would never have backed that. And one off on the 12-1. Yeah, I know. I saw we didn't end up getting that one in the end, but I stayed away from Gessan. Simon says Kudus is playing against his old team. He is indeed, yeah. Let me know what you're thinking in this one, predictions-wise. West Ham Spurs, we are 30 minutes or so in. Feels like Spurs... Well, Spurs do deserve to be in front. Let's not, pull any punches. Spurs are the better team. Spurs do deserve to be in front. And, yeah, they are, in my opinion... Should already be 1-0 up. 3-star Reds, Vinnie Jones. Now, he'd be a great ref. Oh, God. Imagine be cards around for everyone. He'd be like cleaning him, wouldn't he? Liam Manning, imagine having Micah Richards as ref. He'd get bloody injured halfway through. Oh, Xavi Simons, what are you doing? He was expecting the overlap from his fullback there. You could see the cogs turning in his brain there. He picks the ball up in a really good position, goes to play it inside and just loses. You can see he's waiting for the run from the fullback and Jed Spence just isn't there. Walter White, 4014. Are you a mister or a sister? I'm a mister, mate. Liam Manning should have shot there. To be honest, he's trying to overcomplicate things a little bit, I would say. Shelley, can you imagine Big Dunk reffing? Do you know what? I wouldn't really be bothered about Big Dunk refereeing Liverpool games either. I actually think he's one of the few fair-minded ex-pros around. Quite like Dunk. Ostermorg, Matip could be a ref already. Ball, so he'd probably be decent. Oh, miles over. Unlucky. 3-star Reds, put it this way. Not Jared Gillett. Not picking my lotto numbers tonight. Jared Gillett. He's a Liverpool fan, isn't he? They are just overcomplicating things here, Spurs. Trying too much, Spurs just shoot, bloody hell. You can see it, can't you? You can see it. They are just overplaying. Reece Voltamada is cooked. He scored today. It's as good as Gyökeres. Simon, are you watching Chelsea v Brentford? Up to now, yes. Ben, I'd love to know how Matip is doing. His lack of presence upsets me. I absolutely loved Big Joel. He'll probably have gone back over to Germany. I'm sure his missus is German. Or he's I mean, obviously he came through at Schalke, didn't he? That's where we signed him from, but he's got real ties in Germany. So he's probably just disappeared back to Germany and just living his life, and fair play to him. 3-star Reds and our big Duncan Vinny officiating. Could you imagine it, Shelley? It'd be like watching UFC. Matt Thomas, I take back what I said the other week about Leeds. We're shit, can't score, and we're going down. Oh, no. Well, I did say goals would be the problem for Leeds. It's not really the other way. You very nearly got a point at Fulham today. Hibernian 0, Dundee United 1. Stevenson's just scored. On loan Liverpool defender, isn't it, Stevenson? But yeah, Matt Thomas, I think you bang on the money there, mate. Leeds are struggling to score, desperately need a goal scorer, and if they don't get one, I think they are going down. Defensively and through midfield, you're actually all right. Daniel, can we agree now that Gyökeres is the better signing over Sesko? No, we can't agree. Come on, hang on a minute. Gyökeres has played 3 games. Is it 3? Or is it 4 now? Did he play in the first game? He did, didn't he? He played against United, he played against Liverpool, and he scored against Leeds and against these today. Right, okay, so he scored in 2 games, and he was crap in 2 games against 2 big teams, right? So he's been crap in the big games. Sesko hasn't even really played for United. He's barely come off the bench, and he's also 4 or 5 years younger. So no, you can't say he's the better signing yet. Absolutely not. No chance. Liam Manning doesn't help when you have Aronson instead of Nonto playing or James. And Daniel Sesko not even good enough to get into the squad and refusing to take a penalty until 9th player. Well, no, that's not true. He was 10th, wasn't he, actually, as well? He was literally the last on the list. The last outfield player. And I don't know if it was necessarily him refusing. It might well have just been the fact that Amorim didn't want to pick him. But he's still young. That's the point. He's still young. Still time for him. He may well, we'll see, develop into a decent player. But Gyökeres is already at his peak. And he's not brilliant yet. Still. Ben, genuinely a world-class centre-back that seemed to go under the radar outside of us Liverpool supporters. No, Dean Hyson himself said that the Premier League centre-back he modelled his style of play on was Joel Matip. Ostermorg, probably our best free signing as well. Hopefully Gay can be the same. We've had some good free signings over the years, haven't we? Victor Soccerade says Joe, and Joe says Way, Volta, Messi. Oh, Jake, mate. Jake, what are you waiting for? Simon, is Liverpool playing tomorrow or Monday? They're playing tomorrow. Jake, Sesko played the Grimsby game though and was shite, ducked, taking a pen as well, was forced. Nah, he didn't. He only came on during the Grimsby game, didn't he? He came on in the latter stages and he didn't duck taking a pen, or at least we don't believe he did. It was more a case of Ruben Amorim selected him as the last outfield player because, let's be honest, he's a young player coming in. You don't really want to put that pressure on him. He scored his penalty though, didn't he? Like, where's the criticism? Gyökeres is 4 or 5 years older than Sesko. Where's the criticism for Gyökeres? Whenever he's played a big game against Liverpool or Man United, he hasn't had a kick. Literally hasn't had a kick. Ben, with all due respect, Dean Hyson is one person. He did go under the radar for sure. Here we go. Ball into the box. Spurs. Big chance. Cleared away by West Ham. Starting to getting a little bit on top for West Ham. Xavi Simons on the ball. Whipped in. Good ball. Chance. Straight out for a goal kick. Jake, it's taking Sesko time though. It isn't. Isn't it? He's had minutes. Didn't take Voltemada time. Against Wolves. Against Wolves. Like I said, mate, he scored a goal. I think we've got to look at it and say Sesko's still young. He's not had time on the pitch. So I think saying that he's going to be not as good... Well, the question was, can we definitively say now that Gyökeres is better than Sesko? No, we can't. That's the answer to the question. We can't. 3-star Reds, West Ham player throwing another Spurs player to the ground. Should already be at least 1-0, if not 2-0 to Spurs. Ben, Huppier or Matip? Huppier. Sammy Huppier. every day of the week, twice on Sunday. Matip was very good though, but yeah, not as good as Sammy. Joe, if Isak scores against Burnley, they'll be nout the matter, and Jake Gyökeres is in a better setup, to be fair, but he'll do better, I'm certain. You got to see, it's time. Like if you're signing a player, like I don't know what the contract length is that Gyökeres has signed. Is it like 4 or 5 years? Right, Gyökeres is on a 5-year contract at Arsenal. Sesko's on a 5-year contract at Man United. By the time the 3rd year swings around, Gyökeres is 30. Sesko's 26. Who's the better player at that point? It ain't Gyökeres. Jake, it's Man U though, Key. Whoever they sign, they crumble. Up to now, yeah. And I hope long may it continue, mate. You know where my loyalties lie. Long may it continue. But United, it will turn around eventually. They can't keep signing these good young players and it just keep going wrong. Eventually, they'll land on the right combination, the right chemistry, and it'll work for them. They've done it with, I think Cunha and Mbeumo will end up being really good signings for United. That's a dive. That is a dive. That's shocking. Oh, honestly, I'm going to start a campaign. I'm going to start a campaign. Ex-pros reffing. You have to have ex-pros reffing, or at least an ex-pro in the control room or something, because these linos and referees, I'm sorry, it's ridiculous now. It's getting absolutely ridiculous. They've never played football. None of them. They've never played it. Even at amateur level, they've never played it. I'm telling you. Anyone with a brain could have seen what Bowen was doing there. Anyone. Sammy X69. Hi, Key, I'm back. There was a protest in my country. Really? Whereabouts? Simon, do you reckon Sobol plays right back tomorrow? I would imagine so, yeah. Frimpong's still not fit. Bradley, we don't know how good he is. Or how physically ready he is. I mean, he played 90 minutes against Germany in midweek, so he might be a little bit knackered, might be tired. So I think Soberslai, it might be better to keep him there at right back, but we'll see. Clarky, do you think Man United beat City tomorrow, Key? No, absolutely not. City will beat them. At the very best, I can see United getting a draw, but there's no way. City will beat them. The Star Reds, in my younger years, I used to love watching Forest v Liverpool with Bruce Grobbelaar in goal. Brucey. Sammy, Nepal, our government collapsed. Do you know, I saw... Oh, no. Very nearly an own goal here. Yeah, I saw that in the news as well. I didn't know you were from Nepal. Whereabouts in Nepal are you from? I mean, I imagine not Kathmandu. That's the only real place I know, but I'm intrigued anyway. Simon, what's your predictions for tomorrow's games? LFC and Burnley. I think it could be 1-1 Liverpool-Burnley. Could be 1-1. Could be 2-1 maybe Liverpool at a push. I just feel like Burnley are going to score first. I've backed Liverpool to win from behind. Something tells me we start slow. We always do. You're from Kathmandu? Oh, nice. Cool. I love that. Always wanted to go as well. But yeah, no, in terms of tomorrow's games, I do. I think it's maybe 1-1, maybe 1-1, maybe it'll be 2-1 to Liverpool at a push. And then in the United game, I've gone for 3-1 City. There's no way that United win that. It could be a draw, but I've gone 3-1 City and 2-1 Liverpool. That would be my predictions. What's yours? Let me know yours, more importantly. Ben says any 3 results wouldn't surprise me in that Manc derby tomorrow. It's another corner for Spurs. Spurs starting to rack up the pressure here now on West Ham. It really should be 1-0 to Spurs at the very least. West Ham aren't really able to get out of the box at this moment in time. What's going on? Right, here we go. Watch this again here. Goalkeeper is pushing Kyle Walker-Peters into Romero. Put it on top of him. Ball in. Header. Just about cleared away. Out to Xavi Simons. Good ball back in as well. It's come out to Kudus. Hit it. Hit it. Must be. Hit it. It's all scrappy. Oh my God. Hibs 1, Dundee United 1. Ostermorg, I don't think we'll start slow because I think before this season we had more South Americans in the team. So hopefully less travelling means a better start. I like that logic. I can see the rationale behind that. So I can maybe get behind that. But we've still had a lot, haven't we? We've had Salah was in Burkina Faso on Thursday night, Friday morning. He was in Burkina Faso in Africa. I don't know how easy it's going to be for him to just, I think the club put a private jet on for Salah to get back. But we've had Salah flying all over the world. We've had Conor Bradley, Van Dijk, obviously. Frimpong wasn't. Frimpong stayed back at the club. Alisson did go to Bolivia. Alisson was playing at altitude in La Paz in Bolivia, which always takes it out of players. It really wouldn't surprise me if we put Mamardashvili in tomorrow, Maybe that's something to keep an eye on. Liverpool putting Mamardashvili in tomorrow. Ben, Hippier, Agger, Skirtle, Matip and Carra. Give me your 1 to 5 key, 1 being best. Okay, 5 Skirtle, 4 Agger, 3... 5 Skirtle, 4 Agger, 3 Carragher, 2 Matip, 1 Hippier. Carragher gets a little bit of a bad rep, actually. I'd maybe consider putting him second above Matip. Because he was a fucking good defender, Jamie Carragher. He wasn't just like a local lad who we just put in and he worked his socks off. He was a really good defender. A really, really good defender. I don't care what anyone says. Between 2004 2007, he was as good as John Terry, if not better. Certainly defensively, anyway. Going forward, he never scored goals or anything like that. Couldn't really carry the ball out of the defence. But in terms of just pure defender, he was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Ethan, Howes, Ward, Prowse and Fernandes playing. They can't get a kick. They cannot get a kick. Sammy, after all that chaos, that Sobol free kick is still living rent-free in my head. And Liam Manning, awful game so far, but Somerville looks lively. West Ham just haven't really been able to keep the ball for longer than a couple of passes. It feels like Spurs win it back within maybe 5 passes. Let's count them here now. There you go. We've got 1 at the back, 2, 3. How many passes West Ham can get? 4 before they give it away. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. Give it away. There you go. 9 passes. There you go. That was as long as I've seen him have it. And now Spurs are on the counter-attack and he's ran it out of play. They're just as bad. They're just as crap. KWP's Walker-Peters. Oh, sorry, I thought you meant James Ward-Prowse. Well, I was going to say, yeah, both of them can't get a kick. Simon, I used to live in the UK but moved to Ireland, to Mayo. Very nice. Walter Messi is a beast, says Isaac. Liam Manning, Richarlison should have started this game. I don't really know where they would have put... Well, he's definitely better than Tell, isn't he? Yeah, they needed someone up there with a little bit more tenacity. Three-star Reds, do you think during international breaks, with the depths of squads some teams have, domestic leagues could still go ahead? No, God, you'd get riots with that sort of stuff. NEC Nijmegen 0, PSV 2. Van Bommel with the goal. Ruben Van Bommel, do you remember? Remember Van Bommel? Mark Van Bommel. We all remember him, don't we? Ex-Barcelona. Ex-PSV, wonderful player. Well, his son plays for PSV now. A winger. Van Bommel. Yeah, no, I don't think you'd want international breaks and games going on during all that. I do think the time could come, though, where the World Cup just doesn't really... I think maybe not in our lifetime, but probably in the next 100 years, I think the World Cup becomes obsolete and doesn't exist anymore. Clarky, do you think the internationals take it out of the players, Kee? Well, it's not just the internationals, it's the club calendar as well, mate. They've added, I think there was 68 games added to the football club calendar last year because of the FIFA World Cup and the extended FIFA World Cup at the end of this year. Because obviously the World Cup's gone from 32 countries to 48 countries, which means a shed load more games have to be played, plus more qualifiers and all that sort of stuff. And then also you've got the Club World Cup, which was massive as well. So you're getting to the point where players just don't really have a break. To be honest, the Players Union, FIFA Pro, they've tried to sue FIFA as a result of all this to try and get them to reduce the calendar down. Clarky, what football club do you think will struggle this season in the Premier League? I think there's a few that will, but Leeds in particular, I think will struggle. Yeah, we've seen that already. They haven't got enough goals in the team. Okay, half-time here at the Olympic Stadium. It's been a pretty crap first half, let's be honest. Pretty naff, but that said, it is half-time. West Ham 0, Tottenham 0. What's your thoughts? Let's do our half-time thoughts. Half-time player of the game so far. Probably Xavi Simons, actually. He's been alright, hasn't he? Is that 3-1 PSV? Yeah, Nijmegen 1 PSV 3 now. Liam, I've just woke up. What's happened? Nothing at all. Samir X69, he has made a prediction video on YouTube. I have, yes. I've made a prediction video on YouTube and I've made a prediction for this weekend's games, which, if I'm right, I think they're going pretty terribly. What did I say, actually? Here, I'll tell you what I said for these games. So I had Arsenal Forest 1-1. That's wrong. I had Bournemouth 1, Brighton 1. It was 2-1 Brighton in the end. So, get away with that one. But no. Palace 2, Sunderland 1. Yeah, I mean, 0-0, so not great. Everton 2, Villa 2. Point. Draw. Called it. Fulham 2, Leeds 0. It took till the 95th minute, but Fulham did get the win. Got that one. Newcastle 2, Wolves 1. Called it. And I had West Ham 1, Tottenham 2. So, assuming Spurs win here, out of the opening 7 games, I've got 4 right and 3 wrong. So that's not bad, is it? That isn't bad. I'll take that. I just need Brentford 1, Chelsea 1, Burnley 1, Liverpool 2, and Man City 3, Man United 1. They are my remaining predictions for this weekend's games. Liam Manning, it's almost as bad as the Leeds-Newcastle game, this one. Oh, I know. There's a fair few that have been bad, let's be honest. It's all been a bit crap. Okie dokie, what we saying? 3-star Reds close season this year certainly seemed to fly by with the amount of games on our screens, and Shelley says should be 1-0. It should, yes, should indeed. Reese's Footy Feed, I'm starting to fear that football is being saturated and that it's being visible in the overall quality and intensity of many games. Yeah, we're seeing too much of it, aren't we? There is such a thing as too much of a good thing, and football probably is falling into that bracket now. It's too available. There's too much going on, and it feels like we're overwhelmed with... Maybe it's just the dopamine hits that are just constantly coming at us these days. It's not healthy. It's not good, is it? Mentally not good. And maybe our love for football is not waning, but just a little bit disinterested. It used to be. I mean, I still get excited for weekends, for Saturdays. I love watching football. I always love watching football. That's why I started this channel. But you're right, Reese. I do agree that it's probably a little bit of it where it's like, oh God, the players are just. Do you know what it is as well? It's my frustration does just boil over when I see like Mikel Arteta style of football. Like, you want managers to just take some chances. Like, come on, have a go. I know it's important to win. I know your job rests on it. I get it, right? But have a go. Have a real go. Stop scoring and sitting off. Because that's all Arsenal did today. B. McCarran says, shocker today. We need to score. Who have you got next? Who's Villa's next game? Let's have a look. Villa's next game is... Ooh, away at Sunderland. Away at Sunderland. If you're going to score... Hey, listen, if you don't score away at Sunderland, no offence to Sunderland, but if you don't score at the Stadium of Light, I think there might be real questions started to be asked of Unai Emery. Lou, did you back the 16-5? Just need Tel Foul and Bowen 2 shots. I didn't, mate. I haven't backed anything for this one. The only thing that I've backed on this one is Spurs or draw. That's it. Daniel 88888. Prem refs deserve their bad reputation. That is awful from them. And Juventus 2-2. Simon Max says, can't wait till Champions League is back next week. And Clarky, what would be your Manchester United lineup for tomorrow, okay? My Manchester United lineup would be Lamans in goal. It would be Mazraoui, Yoro, Delict, and Dorgu. Yeah. Mazraoui, Yoro, Delict, and Dorgu. Midfield 3, I would put Casemiro, Bruno, and Menu. And then I would have in my front 3, Ahmad, and Bermo, Sesko. That would be my 4-3-3 Man United against City. And it would be 100% Lamans in goal. RK says, cannot believe he's starting Bayern. A corner for City's like a penalty. I don't understand why he's not putting Lamans in. That just makes no sense to me. Simon, I seen Harvey Elliott play today. Can't lie, he played decent. He's a good player. B. McCarran, I love Rodgers, but he's not been playing up to standard recently. Well, according to rumour, he is very, very close to a move away in January, apparently. He's apparently we secured some sort of a pre-agreement on Morgan Rodgers when we sold Harvey Elliott to you. How true that is, I don't know, but I do think Morgan Rodgers might well be sacrificed by Aston Villa at some point. Shelley says, come on, Inter. True Mank, is it true that Liverpool have just signed Mario Balotelli's cousin, Robertelli? Yes, mate. Free transfer, signed him from Heighton. Clarkey, Can and Bermo play left wing key. Well, he can play there if you want him to play there. Or you could play Ahmad left wing. But either way, I think if you played Ahmad and Bermo wide and gave them license to switch over if they need to during the game, then do that. Like, give them the opportunity to mix things up. But United haven't really got many other alternatives. Like, they're missing Cunha. Cunha doesn't play. I wouldn't mind putting Xerxes in there, to be honest. But I feel like you've got to get Ahmad further forward. If you're playing Manchester United and you've not got Ahmad on the pitch, or you've got Ahmad in a right wing-back slot, and you've got Manu on the bench, I'm sorry, that's half the battle. I don't want to play a Man United team that's got Manu and Ahmad in it. I think they become a much easier side to play without those two. I am Kroot. Just seen videos of people wearing England flags, ordering an onion bhaji. Couldn't make it up. Why? Hey, no wrong with ordering an onion bhaji. It's fantastic. Hey, and by the way, chicken tikka masala was invented in England, believe it or not. Lou, he's going to Liverpool in it. It's in Harvey's contract. Yeah, well, that's what I heard as well, mate. Always liked Morgan Rogers. He started off at Lincoln. Paul Campbell, I bet there'd be a red card in this game. Need some passion from the players first. Don't look like it's going to happen anytime soon, Paul. Sorry. Simon, I'd like to see Chiesa start tomorrow. Please slot start him. No, why do you want Chiesa to start? Who's he starting over? Ekatike? Salah? No, you can't put him in there. Come on. I am Crute now, but it's all the Tommy Robinson supporters who are chanting they hate foreigners, then ordering it. God. To be honest, I've just stayed off social media today. It's been bad enough the last few days. I've just been enjoying watching the footy. I've no interest in all the nonsense all going on down in London, and to be honest, it's the same every other week, innit? Shelley, pork chow mein for me tea. Homemade, of course. Pork chow mein. Can't say I've ever had chow mein. Lou, Isaac Hattie, 45-1. One on Gizme. Mate, there's no way Isaac's playing tomorrow. No way. He might come off the bench, but he doesn't start. I am Crute for the first time in about 2 years. I actually enjoyed the Arsenal game today. Thank you for tapping the screen, for sharing the live as well if you can. Help a brother out. Click repost, share, like, all that good stuff. Lou, no chance. No, he's already said. Arne Slot was asked in the press conference, the pre-match presser, is he going to start? Is he going to start? And he said, well, Jondal Thomason did a great job with him, to try and keep him out from getting injured and stuff on international duty. I think he played him about 10 minutes. And he kept reiterating Slot, we've signed him for 6 years, not 2 weeks. So there's no way he plays, I'm telling you. Absolutely no way he starts. B. McCarran, is this clause not just them able to ask for a price on Rodgers? Well, we don't need a clause for that, do we? You don't need a clause to ask for a price. I'm sure there's something within that. Listen, none of us know, do we? Let's be honest. None of us know. But the rumours was that Liverpool have secured a clause on Morgan Rogers in negotiating the Harvey Elliott deal. And that clause enables them to benefit in some way. I don't know what that is. It might well be that we've already agreed a price for him. It might well be that we've already agreed first option on him, let's say, or first refusal on him, which means that, if we match the price that they have offered, let's say Man City bid 100 million for him and we bid 100 million for him, they've got to reject City's offer and give him to us. Again, how practical that is, we don't know in real terms. We don't really know what it is. But who knows? It could be a few things, couldn't it? Lou, he's looked poor for Villa past few months. Like, he has, hasn't he? This is it, and this is usually what happens with players towards the end of their time at a club. Newcastle fans were saying it about Isak, weren't they? They were all saying it about him. He was crap for the last couple of months. He was like, his head wasn't quite in it. So, it wouldn't surprise me if maybe we're seeing the same sort of thing with Morgan Rogers. I would love that, though. Clarkey, is that Sweden coach who managed Blackburn Rovers, Key? Yep, Jondal Thomason. Ex-Newcastle Jondal Thomason as well. Dundee United have scored against Hibs. It's 2-1. Simon, I'm going to the Everton game on the 20th. Are you going? No, mate. I don't go to games. You know me. I'll be sat here watching it, though. Walwork, Harvey Elliott is better than Rodgers. Is he, mate? Yeah. Ronnie Dodge, hey Key, my favourite Liverpool fan. Lol. Cheers, Ronnie. How's one of my favourite United fans? Lou, it'd be a tough game, Derby, lad. Nah, it's always the same. It's always the same. As long as we're on our game, you've not got a chance. Everton haven't been great. They were awful against Brighton, they somehow won. They were awful today, they got a point. They were awful against Leeds, they got beat. The one game Everton have turned up this season is Wolves, and they very nearly, very, very nearly drew that one in the end. Ronnie, I'm honestly good, mate. Hope everything's good. And Simon, if you come to the game on the 20th, Key, I'll buy you a ticket. You can't buy a ticket. Can't buy them. Can't buy games, Derby games, for love nor money. B. McCarran, I just don't think that would feel right at all. What? Morgan Rogers in a Liverpool shirt? Ostermorg, where do you think Rogers fits in our squad, Key? So I think Liverpool are focusing firmly on English players at this moment in time, and that's why I think Gay comes in, I think Wharton comes in, I think Rodgers comes in, and we might end up going for more young English talent, because we've lost a lot of English players from our team, haven't we? We've sold an awful lot of English players. So I think McAllister probably goes to Real Madrid, Canate goes to Real Madrid. We'll get big money for McAllister. And I think Rodgers will be the replacement. Wharton will be our replacement. And then we'll have a midfield of Wharton, Gravenberch, Rodgers, Szoboszlai. It's legs, isn't it? It's legs, it's energy. They are all Liverpool players. Morgan Rodgers and Adam Wharton would be wonderful signings for us. I'd love it if we got those two. Celtic Glasgow. Thoughts on Rangers losing again? Surprising, yeah. I mean, he's going to go, isn't he? He's definitely going to go. Right, we're back off underway here in the second half. So yeah, I would say Rodgers would be in a midfield 3. That's how he would fit in. Juventus 2, Inter 3. Thuram's just scored. Ronnie Dodge. Sorry, we've done that. Clarkey. I think Man United beat City tomorrow. Just have a funny feeling. No chance. G. Lawrence Key. I remember you telling me Mosquera was an average signing. 13 million quid bargain. You don't need much. You don't need much encouragement, you Arsenal fans, do you? He's played against Forest. I mean, he did well against Liverpool at Anfield. I've got to give him his due. He did well. But we didn't really give you much to think about. He's still young. 13 million quid don't look like too much of a bargain just yet. Give him time. Liam Manning, Leeds United's under-18s beat Everton 5-3. See, they can score. Simon, City lost to Tottenham. Do you realise? Right, corner kick to Spurs here. Corner kick to Spurs. Header, get in, 1-0. There you go. They're not keeping that one out, and it's Sarr with the goal. Spurs have scored straight off the corner. Great header, far post. Pat Mate Sarr, bang, header. Back where it came from, and West Ham 0, Spurs 1. Absolutely incredible, that. Clarkey, 1888. Mikel Arteta would do a better job at Rangers than Arsenal. Simon Mack, got the assist. It was the corner taker. So it was... who actually took the corner? Was it Porro? No, it was Xavi Simons, I think, actually. I think it's Xavi Simons. Yeah, it is. It's an assist for Xavi Simons on his debut. And it comes all the way over to the far post. And Papsar, bang, header, straight back across the direction that it came from. Back where it came from. Keeper gets a touch, straight into the roof of the net. And exactly what you should do with a header. Great goal. B. McCarran, I think it's more paper talks. That's what I'm hoping. Do you know what, though? Honestly, this is what Newcastle and Villa need to do better, though, mate. I do think a big problem that Villa and Newcastle have had, even though, like, there's complaints from the fan base that you've not got money and you're kind of, you're restricted and bound by FFP and all these things. Like, you need to sell better. That's the problem. You need to sell your players better. So it feels like Morgan Rogers, if you were to sell him at his absolute peak, you could probably get 80 million, maybe more, who knows. You could get a big chunk of cash for him, go and use that money to rebuild the squad and improve in 2-3 areas. And that's what Villa need to do. And that's not something that's just Newcastle and Villa. Liverpool had to do that. Oh, what a shot. Bowen, save and wide. Yeah, Liverpool have had to do that. Chelsea, City, United, all teams have had to do that at different points. We've all had to sell our best players and go again. And it's not nice, but you have to do it. And it's I guess, part of growing as a club, isn't it? Lou, speaking to a lot of your fans, lad, and they don't fancy the derby, but let's see Tarkowski do. He's like, Tarkowski's been shite all season. He's been awful. Michael Keane's been your best defender. I've had loads of Everton fans tell him, to be honest, I was watching against Wolves. It was Tarkowski's looked dodgy. It's Michael Keane. Michael Keane could have scored 2 today, couldn't he? Jake, Villa and Toon didn't have £1 billion. Squads like the top 4 have. You don't miss the players as much. I get the ideology, Key, but it doesn't work. Mate, of course it works. It's the same. It's the exact same thing that Brighton have been doing. And you say it like Liverpool had £1 billion squads always. We didn't. Mate, go back to 2012, 2011. Look at the crap that we had in our squad. The only way we got there is by signing cheap and selling high. That was it. There was no real other way around it. We sold Raheem Sterling, 50 million quid. Our young star boy didn't want to do it, had to sell him, 50 million quid, massive money. We used that money to go out and get other players that some improved the squad, some didn't. We wasted money as well on Markovic and other players. I just feel like Villa and Newcastle have got this mental block that you can't sell your best players. That means taking a step backwards. Well, yeah, and you do have to take a step back sometimes to go too forward, or to at least give you a chance to. It's nonsense. There's so much opportunity in selling your best players, and it's not nice. No one wants to do it, especially to rivals. But I just feel like it's an important part. Shelley, Tarky's not good without Branthwaite. Is Branthwaite any closer to being back? Hopefully not. B. McCarron, we have cashed in, though, on players that have been in their peak. Yeah, I know, but it's a continuous thing, isn't it? It's not just something you do once. You have to keep doing it. You sold Benteke. Who was the last player that Villa sold at their absolute peak? You could have sold Watkins, couldn't you? Could have sold Watkins to Arsenal in January. I reckon you could have done that deal. And now that looks like a pretty decent deal. If you could have got 60 million for Ollie Watkins in January, would you take 60 million for Ollie Watkins right now? 30 years of age? You would, wouldn't you? Surely. Nostalgia Bunker, every September, October, Spurs fans announce they'll win the league. Waiting for the lap of honour. Isaac, fancy getting a Voltamada top now, Key? No. No, not even close. G. Lawrence, Key, thoughts on Zubimendi's first goal? Bang average, I bet. No, it was a good strike. I said at the time it was a really good strike. Took a bit of a deflection, but I thought Zubimendi was terrific today. Simon, hi, I'm back. Just seen apparently Real Madrid wants Rio Engamoa. They can want, and maybe they get him one day. Who knows? Jack, Sunderland did well. Glad we got a draw. It's all about getting the points. Away the lads. Shelley says, yeah, maybe next week, Branthwaite. B. McCarron, Douglas Louise, when you use the word absolute peak. Well, so your most expensive sales have been Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish is probably the only one that you could say you sold him. Well, no, John Duran you got 77 million quid for. Even Moussa Diaby, 60 million, fine. Douglas Luiz, 51. Christian Benteke, 46. That was in 15-16. Jacob Ramsey, 45. Again, that's not bad. But these recent sales, Jacob Ramsey is absolutely huge. John Duran, Moussa Diaby, even though you paid about the same on Moussa Diaby. That's the sort of stuff. But if you go back to like Villa's top 10 sales, right? A third of them were all 10, 15 years ago. That's the problem. Your biggest sales, even though football's massively inflated, your biggest sales, like 3 of them were 15 years ago. Isaac must be having a laugh. What do you mean must be having a laugh? Jake, Villa always sell their best player. Luiz, Duran, come on, PSR doesn't work, Key, unless you're the top 4. Yeah, that's nonsense. So we got a red card here. Souček's been sent off. It's a straight red as well. Straight red, and it's looking a bad one. Graham Potter's not happy with it, but it looks like a straight red. Oh, very Gary Neville, but it has it's gone through Palhinha's shin. Like not his shin, his sock. Let's watch it back. Let's watch this one back. Oh, no. I don't think you can give that a red. Oh, no. You don't want to give that as a red. Come on, ref. That's not a red. No. Come on. That's not a red. That's not a red. No, you don't want to see reds for that. You don't want to see reds for that. Come on. That's sad. Very sad, but West Ham down to 10. Hey, let's get me... I can put my little red card thing on the screen. Let's get my little red card thing up. There you go. West Ham have got a player sent off. West Ham 0, Tottenham 1. And West Ham down to 10. Souček off. All day, lad, says Lou. Yeah, Jake, you say like PSR doesn't work. You've got to Champions League 2 years out of the last 3. B. McCarran, you're probably not going to agree. You're saying football is inflated, so why do they not update these PSR rules? At least they're playing with financial rules near over 10 years. That is our frustration. The problem is, though, mate, is that Villa have spent an awful lot and not improved the team with it. That's been the issue. It's 2-0 Spurs. What a goal by Bergvall. That is absolutely incredible. That is sensational. What a goal that is. Unbelievable stuff. Oh, what a goal. Beautiful little lofted ball over the top. Bergvall with a header. Beats the keeper. No chance. West Ham 0, Tottenham 2. Get in. That's a great goal. From one of my favourite players, it has to be said, that doesn't play for Liverpool. Unbelievable player, Lucas Bergvall. What a signing. It's a great header, this. Look at that. What a finish. What a finish. Athletic Bilbao 0, Alaves 1. Oh, no. Ryan, look at Villa's wages compared to revenue. It's like 90%. No wonder they're restricted. It's 98%, isn't it, turnover to wages ratio? They've absolutely maxed out on wages. But again, I'll come back to the quality of the signings that they've made have been really, really poor. Amadou Onana, 60 million euros. He's not gone up in value. He's not improved the first team. They signed Moussa Diaby for 55 million euros. They were lucky that they managed to sell him to Saudi within 12 months for basically what they paid for him. But again, bad signing. Lucky they got away with that one. Ian Matson, 45 million. Doesn't really even play. Luca Dean started again today, but Ian Matson, 45 million. Terrible. Buendia, 40 million. Terrible. Pau Torres, 35 million, never fit. Leon Bailey, 32 million, doesn't really play, gone out on loan. Diego Carlos, 31 million, already sold him. Evan Gesand, 30 million, has he improved him already? Doesn't look good. There's a load of signings you can look at. They spent something like, I think it was 200 or 250 million last year. And every single one, if you look at the signings they made, they were dreadful. Like, not a single one. Donyell Marlon, players like that. 25 million quid for Donyell Marlon. It's just poor. Really, really poor signings. Liam Manning says, not even Harry Potter can save West Ham. And Jake says, gaps just keep getting bigger and bigger, Key. If the top four can spend more than they get, the head start. Yeah, but top four are making more. Top four are making more. So it's not about being able to spend more. And inevitably, yeah, of course, you want the top teams to be able to spend more. Because the top teams, they've earned the right to be there, of course. And they've got the bigger revenue, so they can do that. But Newcastle shouldn't just be able... This is the problem. The ultimate issue is what you're talking about is you've won the lottery. You've got all this, dirty Saudi money. So you should just be able to spend whatever you want. And that's not right, is it? That isn't right. There's no reason why that should be right or fair. Joe says Mourinho at West Ham works wonders. Just do it. And Liam Manning, Villa haven't bought good, to be fair. Jake, Newcastle sold 15 players since January. Before this, we went 3 windows without being able to get anyone. But again, that's because you've historically not done great in the transfer market. City did. Yes, City did. Chelsea did. And that's why the Premier League closed the loophole. That's it. You can't do that anymore. That's done. That's done. Absolutely done. You can't have Chelseas and Cities just coming into the Premier League and skewing the whole playing field. That isn't what the Premier League was built on. It happened. It shouldn't have happened. It's happened. But there you go. The only way that you get better now is making sure it doesn't happen again. You can't undo it. It's just done. But you can't make it any better. The reality is City have become this beast, and Chelsea have become this beast, and they wouldn't have been in a fair and just football landscape. The horse has bolted. There you go. That's it. Horse has bolted. You can't do anything about it now. It's done. 3-star Reds. I go and get myself some tea and I return to find normal services returned at West Ham. I know they only stopped to put 3 past Forest, mate, didn't they? They stopped briefly to put 3 past Forest and then it's done. Right, here's Songutu Mangasa, I think it is, the new signing for West Ham. And who else is coming on here? Guilherme, the young man. Guilherme coming on for Somerville and Fernandez going off for Magasa. Gavin, Palace let me down on my acca earlier, for fuck's sake, shouldn't have put them on. Jake, I've always said give everyone 150 to 200 mil each year. Make it a fair playing field. Listen, I would support. I think we could. Let's find some common ground, right? I think you and I could agree that there probably should be reform on how teams spend and what they're allowed to do. Because I don't think anyone likes this all selling the women's team and having multi-club ownership. Multi-club ownership is just as sordid and awful. I don't think that's fair either. So I would agree with you that there needs to be reform, but I think we would disagree that teams can just spend whatever their owner allows them to spend. That's not fair or just, and I don't believe it's the right way. But I would agree that there needs to be reform. 4-3 Juventus in the last minute. What a game that's been. B. McCarran, probably just not going to agree, but what a point is that? Players now just go for stupid money now anyway. 40 million would have got you someone great, but now it feels like 40 million is just being thrown about. Mate, 100 million it feels like if you want a top player now, 100 million is like the going rate. I remember when Cristiano Ronaldo was going for 80 million quid and Bale was going for just about that. Now, 100 million now barely gets you anyone, top quality. Like, you're getting potential with 100 million. Florian Wirtz is brilliant, don't get me wrong, but he's more potential than he is ready-made. Leon Meek, bro, who do you think will get relegated this season from the Premier League? I think Leeds, Burnley, and it's 3-0. Oh my God, it's 3-0 and it's Van der Ven. What a finish. And I've got Van der Ven in my FPL. Get in there. Van der Ven, West Ham 0, Tottenham 3. Van der Ven rattles it in. What a goal. Paul Campbell, I got lucky, had the holiday money on that. Hibs 1, Dundee United 3. How many have I actually got them on anything? I hope not. Please tell me I've not got Hibs. I think I have got Hibs on a fair few things, actually. I really hope I've not. No, I don't think I have, actually. I'm good. I'm good. Swifty, I remember Trevor Francis. Jake, Leeds, Burnley and Sunderland. No, I think Leeds, Burnley and Wolves. Up to now. Leeds, Burnley, Wolves. Maybe Leeds, Burnley, West. No, I'm going to stick with West Ham. I said West Ham in my original prediction, didn't I? My original prediction video at the start of the season was Leeds, Burnley, West Ham. I'm going to stick with it. I think Wolves could be dragged into it. I still think there's others who could be too. Maybe Sunderland, who knows. But Leeds and Burnley are the only two I am absolutely convinced on. West Ham, Wolves could well be involved too, but yeah, they're the only two I'm absolutely certain on. For the Crew podcast, I saw it said you watch football from around the world. What do you watch outside of Europe? Outside of Europe, we have done... What games have we done outside of Europe? We've done some Japanese league. We have actually done some Japanese league. We've done some early morning stuff. We watched an Aussie league game. And we've watched a Japanese league game. Don't know what else we've done, though, outside of Europe. Done some African football. Yeah, we have done African games, haven't we? Yeah, we've done African games. And we've done a Japanese league game early in the morning. And we've done an Australian league game. We haven't done any in the US. I notice you're a Columbus Crew fan. We haven't done any in the US, sadly. Just because of the time and everything. We haven't done any in the US. Haven't done any in the Brazilian, Brazilian league or the RG league. I'd quite like to have done a River Plate game or something like that. But no, nothing in South America. Sadly, nothing in North America. But we've definitely done African games and a little bit in Asia. Ryan, I can't see Wolves improving much, Kee. No, I think I'd agree with that, Ryan. That's probably fair to say. Joe, that new Wolves striker looks decent, just not enough service. Good pick for the FPL in the future. Yeah, I mean, he was top scorer in the Belgian league, was Arokadari. Tolu Arokadari. He's a good player. I thought he would do all right at Wolves, but I still can't see him. Do they start him up front with Strand Larsen, do you think? Thank you for the follow, by the way, for the Crew podcast. Do you think Nuno goes back to Wolves? No, I don't think Wolves sack Vitor Pereira. I think it'd be very foolish to sack Vitor Pereira. He's a good manager. You don't want to sack him. Ostermog, yes, get in one at FPL pick. And B. McCarran, you do get my point, though. I do, yes, of course I do, mate, yes. Ostermog, 3-star Reds. I am old enough to remember Clough paid 1 penny under £1 million for the great late Trevor Francis. Yeah, he was insistent that he didn't want to pay £1 million and be the first to pay it, didn't he? Right, Callum Wilson coming on for Lucas Paquetá. Callum says, want a free win, just play at the London Stadium. Reese, I've just tagged you in an X post, Key. Go on, let's have a look. Let's have a look why I've got time while they're making this substitution. If you haven't yet, please do me a favour. If you're watching, click up here, click follow. Make sure you've followed. If you're watching on YouTube, or if you're not on YouTube, go and check me out. Premier League Dad, Key Thomas. Make sure you've subscribed. I am live every single day watching footy. Reese, what have you tagged me in? Wirtz has done absolutely nothing in the league so far. Isn't that right? That's harsh. That's unnecessary as well. That's really unnecessary. Mate, I am, honestly, the day that Gyökeres, oh my God, SJK 3, Helsinki 3, the day that Gyökeres bombs against another top team, which is coming soon, isn't it? He's going to play another top team soon and then going to flop yet again. That is going to hit like crack. G. Lawrence, thoughts on Noni Madueke today, Key? Bang average? No, he was good, actually. He was all right, wasn't he? I thought he played all right. I'm not sure where he fits in, though, for Arsenal. I don't think he... And again, you're making a point of saying thoughts on Madueke like he was absolutely sensational. I don't think he was sensational. I just thought he played okay. That's what a winger should do. And Arsenal haven't had a winger for a very, very long time. So it's not really surprising that you've not had... You're not used to a direct runner at Arsenal. Played well for England too, still improving. That's true. But that's one of the things, or that's one of his unique qualities, isn't it? Is that he's a direct runner. He's head down, knock it past the fullback, get to the byline, cross in. I like that. I like that about him. That's the one thing I would say I do like. But he isn't going to start on that right-hand side if Saka's fit. So, I don't know. I don't know where he plays. G. Lawrence. Oh, we've done that one. Sorry. Liam Manning, Vitor Pereira to West Ham and Nuno to Wolves. Ben, London Stadium never helps West Ham in these situations. Fans just flood out. Would never be at Upton Park. Yeah, they should never have left Upton Park. G. Lawrence, Keys Arsenal agenda is real, guys. Reece Madueke is certainly an upgrade from Sterling, let's be honest. Well, Sterling was left-sided, wasn't he? Here's Spurs into the box. Should be 4. Oh, Kudus, it's gone behind. No, it's offside. Reece is a hater. I'm not a hater. Not a hater at all. Just because I don't think Arsenal are the best side in the world. You two AFTV reprobates. You're literally next in the line there. It's Ty and then you two. Mediocres, exactly, Joe. Mediocres. Key hates Arsenal, pass it on. Right, Xavi Simons is coming off here. Who's coming on? Jed Spence, Xavi Simons off. Who's the replacements? Destiny, Doggy and Richarlison. I remember Doggy was like once absolute starter for Spurs, wasn't he? Like, what's happened to him? Jed Spence has played really well and deservedly won his place, but I always thought Doggy... Like, there was a time when Doggy signed for Spurs and he was like, oh my God, this guy's the best left-back in the league. And now he's on the bench pretty much every other week. Just shows you, doesn't it, how fickle us football fans are. Couple of games, we get all excited. He's the best thing in the world. Look at Gyökeres. Look at Madueke. Oh, yeah. Where will they be in 12 months? Probably sat on the bench like fucking our mate Doggy here. Liam Manning, I doubt Gyökeres will score next Sunday. And Sam Johan watching Bayern Munich v HSV. Who is it? What scores Bayern Munich and Hamburg at the minute? Swifty, he had an injury, didn't he? He did. He was out for a while. But he's still not had the games. Like, how many games has he missed? A Doggy injury history. Let's have a look. Knee injury sustained in late August 2025, which resulted in him missing a game against Bournemouth. Jesus Christ. Whoa, this guy has got major hamstring issues. Oh my God. Literally, he's missed 23-24, missed 12 games, hamstring injury. 24-25, missed 13 games, hamstring injury. And then 25-26, he missed 4 with a knee injury. He's just come back. But he missed 12 games last year from December to February with a hamstring injury. So he was available from like mid-Feb to the end of the season and didn't really play. And he was available before Christmas and didn't play. 5-0 to Bayern. G. Lawrence, we understand the Arsenal agenda, Key, coming from a Spurs fan. I get it, bro. Wait, if you see, wait till you see how I celebrated the 3 Spurs goals. That'll just fuel the fire. Nijmegen 2, PSV 4. Jake says, thoughts on Isak's training, Key? Getting excited yet? Yeah, I mean, I'll be excited when he's starting for us, but I don't think he starts maybe until the Everton game. I imagine he doesn't start for a while. Spurs with a shot. Three-star Red says Forest will fill their boots then Callum when we play them there. And B. McCarran on 42 points. Still need Pedro, who is captain, Cucurella and Reinders to play. Let me have a look at my FPL actually. Three-star Red says lucky win today. Reece played the game a week later, mate. We would have battered Arsenal. Yeah, just need Ange to bed in. I think if they'd have had a bit more time, Ange would have been fine. He'd have sorted it. G. Lawrence says Wirtz has been top so far, mate, especially for the price tag. Listen, he'll still have a Premier League winners medal come the end of the season. That's the important thing. Damien, my local team, lost 7-0 today. Wasn't impressed. And Joe says Max Darman is better than Yamal. Do you know what? The crazy thing is, they actually believe that. They actually believe it, don't they? Max Darman is better than Yamal. Jake, he'll start Everton game, come on tomorrow off the bench. And he'll probably come off the bench against Atletico Madrid as well. But maybe start the Everton game. That's probably what I would be aiming for with him. But we don't know how he's recovering and stuff. Might take some time for him to get up to speed. But the good thing is, we're pretty relaxed about it. Because Liverpool haven't really had any problems scoring goals this season. So we've been fine. There's no real problem. If we've got Ekatike and Salah and Gakpo, that's still more than enough to cause teams problems. But yeah, obviously, ideally, you'd want the best striker in the world up there as well. Sam says, what's the next Premier League after Spurs v West Ham? I assume you mean the next fixture. That's tonight. Brentford against Chelsea at the G-Tech. Joe, anyway, mate, have you been better today? I have. I'm still a little bit... I've got a bit of a sore throat, but I'll be fine. I'll be fine for the Brentford game. Yeah. Feeling a little bit better. I was crap yesterday, though. I really was. I shouldn't have come on, but I was bad yesterday. Jake, he's fine, Kee. I've seen him in training. He'll score tomorrow, I reckon, or midweek. Well, let's hope so. Let's hope so. Right, so, what's the score? Where am I up to? I'm 7th. I've got 6 for Raya, 6 for Gay, 5 for Spence, 3 for Van Hecker, 1 for Juve, 2 for Bowen, 3 for Tonali. That's not good. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 4 still to play, and I'm on 26. It's not great, is it? I've got Mbermo, Salah, Soboslai, João Pedro still to play. I really, really, really hope his groin explodes, though. Oh, you nasty piece of work. You nasty piece of work, Jake. We'd never wish ill on people. We'd never wish ill on Voltemada. We always... I absolutely loved Voltemada. I thought it was going to be a great signing for you. And he's like, scored today. I was made up. I was absolutely made up for you. One day we hope you can find that piece too with Isak. 3-star Reds, you're right about that Premier League winners medal, Key. Ange will wear it with pride. B. McCarran, I know you're against Gyökeres, but what's your thoughts so far? It's not that I'm against him, mate. I'm really not. I know it seems like it, but I'm really not against him. He's just not a top centre-forward that makes the difference for Arsenal in terms of going from being second or third to being champions. He doesn't elevate Arsenal sufficiently. I don't think Arsenal have made I think Zubimendi is probably the only one that has really sufficiently moved Arsenal up. Whether that's enough to make them champions, I don't think so. I think they miss a centre forward, and Gyökeres is not that centre forward. We've seen him play against Man United. He was absolutely marked out the game at Old Trafford. He didn't kick a ball against Liverpool. And even the games that he has scored in against Leeds, he looked a little bit all over the place. He missed a sitter. Again, today against Forest, first half, didn't get a kick. Literally didn't get a kick. And the only thing that he did do was that one tap-in which Eze created. And if I'm dead honest, I thought it was offside. So, for me, I think Gyökeres will do well for Arsenal this season in terms of maybe 15 goals, but no more. No more than 15. I'd be amazed if he got more than 15. Jake, was you really, or are you being sarcastic? No, I'm being serious. I'm being serious. When I saw it pop up on my phone, it said Baltimore scored. I was like, oh yeah, fair play. Well done, the lad. Swifty, he should get goals in that team. And Jake, go on then. Thoughts on Baltimore? I saw the goal, and I've seen a couple of little clips of him, like his touches and stuff on and off the ball. Yeah, I mean, he's a good player. We know he's a good player. It's just how he fits into that Spurs squad, let's be honest. Spurs squad, Newcastle squad. Sorry, it's because I'm looking at Spurs. D. McCarran, I would agree, he's not turned up when he's being needed. This is it, and that's what his record is. His track record for Sporting Lisbon is he has only done it in the games against sort of Casapia and Estoril and Famalicão and, you know, these types of teams who are bottom end of the league, who for the most part many people wouldn't have even heard of. They've got centre-backs who are 39, 40 years of age. Like, this is what we're expected to... You know, he's just not going to convert to a proper Premier League elite centre-forward, and that's going to be a problem for Arsenal. Jamal said it really should have been Voltemada instead of Kirkin, lad. 15 goals, he's hitting Suarez's numbers. And why? It's good to see you again, Kieran. Good to see you, mate. Kirkin? I don't know. Who's Kirkin? How have you just realised? I don't know what we're talking about here. Voltemada offers more than Gyökeres. He means Charlie Kirk. Oh. I was thinking, what the bloody hell are you talking about here? Oh, that's dark. That's very dark. Baltimore offers more than Gyökeres. Yeah, well, I would agree with that. Yeah, I think if you could make a signing... Well, look, if you offered me as a Liverpool fan, you can either sign... Put them in order of which ones you want to sign. Voltemada, Sesko or Gyökeres. It would have been Voltemada, Sesko, Gyökeres. That would have been the order in which I would have liked us to sign him as a Liverpool player. Swifty, I really like Thomas Frank. Spurs could be a genuine threat in a couple of years. I think Spurs could be a genuine threat this season. If they get their act together in front of goal, that's been the problem for Spurs today. They've had a lot of the ball and they've dominated West Ham, but they've overplayed it too often, in my opinion. A few other people have said this in the chat. It's not just like a thing I've landed on. A few other people said this earlier. It feels like Spurs are getting into good positions and not shooting. They're playing the extra pass. They're overcomplicating it. And I don't know if that's part of Thomas Frank and what he's asking him to do, or... Because some managers don't like that, do they? Some managers encourage not shooting, playing an extra pass, wait for the right opportunity, don't snatch at it. Other managers say, no, if you get a chance to shoot on goal, shoot. So it varies from manager to manager. But Thomas Frank, I think, he should get Spurs in the top 6 this year. I'd be amazed if he didn't. I think they're a work in progress with potential. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Some good players, though. Really, really good players at Spurs. If you look at the bones of their squad, Kulusevski, Bergvall, Palhinha, Javi Simons now as well, Kudus, very raw, but really good ability. The back defenders are incredible. Van der Ven, Romero. I really like Porro. I really like Jed Spence. There's not a player in that Spurs squad that I look at and I think, in the first 11, I mean, do you know what? Sarr's growing on me an awful lot. Pap Sarr is a really talented player, but there's not a Spurs player I look at in that squad and think, I'd be really annoyed if Liverpool signed him. and that's, as a club that's the champions, that's maybe the strongest squad in the league, I think that's a big compliment to Spurs, and it tells them an awful lot about where they should be, not where they were last season, where this team should be. If Liverpool signed Bergvall, I'd be delighted. If we signed Kulusevski, I'd be delighted. Van der Ven, Romero, I'd be delighted. There's not a player I would be particularly annoyed about. Obviously, if you're getting into the squad, the bench players, then yes, I wouldn't like us to sign Richarlison, but you know what I mean. A club with great resources now too. Again, very true, yeah. Why did you see Sesko's double kick at Carrington? I haven't. No, I haven't seen any of the training videos or anything like that. Joe, Richarlison. Yeah, like I said, if we're getting into Richarlisons and those types of players, then maybe less inclined to sign those. But the rest of them, I like a lot of the players at Spurs. I actually think Randall Kolo Muwani's a really good player as well, Spurs with no Daniel Levy will be a problem. A problem as in from a Newcastle perspective. Clarkey, do you play Sesko tomorrow, Key? I would. I think you have to. At what point do you start to play? You've signed a 70-odd million pound centre forward. He's not a baby. He's not 18, 19. He's 23. He's got good experience in the Bundesliga. You've got to throw him in. Yes, it's not ideal, but you've not got Cunha. You've not got anyone else really to play up there. You've sold Højlund. Who else are you going to play? You've got to put Sesko in. But listen, this is from someone coming at it from a point of view of, I think he should be starting Lamens as well. Got nothing to lose and everything to gain. Same with Sesko. Nothing to lose, everything to gain. Play him. Play him. Throw him in. Get him involved. Best thing you could possibly do. Instead, he's going to, shield him and try and play probably Xerxes or, I don't know, probably shoehorn in Burmo into a centre-forward position or something like that. He's gonna be really, really conservative, really risk-averse, and it's annoying. You don't want to see that from him. I'd love to see United go there and really, really have a go at City, because they're vulnerable, aren't they? It's a derby. Go and have a go at him. I think Sesko scores his first goal against Man City, and Jake Curtin says, no, as in Spurs will be ruffling some feathers this season. Said before the ball was kicked. Yeah, they're going to be a big, big team in the mix for that top 6, top 5 Champions League positions. Swifty, I liked Levy. I think people underestimate the owner's role in Spurs spending. And Jake says they're going to be a dark horse. I had no issue. I didn't understand the issue with Daniel Levy, if I'm dead honest. I think Spurs fans have really, forced him out of the club, and he's, for a very, very long time, ran Spurs incredibly efficiently. NUFC said Voltemada proving the haters wrong. Is he? Is he? One game? Plenty of strikers have scored on the debut, mate, and not been fantastic. I remember Djibril Cissé scoring on his debut for Liverpool against Spurs. White Hart Lane. Stuck it in the bottom corner. We all thought we had an absolute cracker on our hands. Terrible player. So it doesn't really make much of a difference. First game. Enjoy him. I think he will be a good player for you, but yeah, don't get too carried away. Still time yet. Joe mentioning Liverpool again. Well, I've only got a limited form of reference. I mean, if I mentioned an anecdote about Liverpool, you'd probably mention one about Newcastle, wouldn't you? NUFC, please just let us have this one. I won't extinguish your fire. Enjoy him. He's an absolute worldie. He's basically a Ballon d'Or winner. Jake, 1 game, 1 goal, low key. Don't forget Whiston and Baltimore to replace Isak. Will get the goals and he'll play his part. Yeah. Yeah. Let's just leave it at that. He'll probably be all right, won't he? Wissa's the main man. Yeah. Brentford's finest. Number 9, Johan. Liam Manning, do you think Potter goes soon, Kee? I think he's got to, Annie. Yeah, he's got to. At some point, West Ham are just going to have to pull the trigger and let him go. He's not the right player, not the right boss, not the right person for him at this moment in time. Culture fit just doesn't feel right. Adam, who do you support? I'm a Liverpool fan, Adam. Jake, come on, Kee, that was rude. What was rude? No, it wasn't. Joe, more goals than Isak this season. Remember that, Kee. I know. Crazy, innit? More goals than Isak. That must mean he's better than him. I bet if you were offered it, you'd have him back. You'd swap. Liam Manning, think last game was a one-off to have over the crack for 1 game. I think if you were offering Newcastle fans right now, we can forget that the last few months happened, right? And Isak can still be at the club. Walter Marder isn't there. You can either have Isak or you can have Walter Marder. Which one do you want? I think I know which one the result would be. Jake, Brentford's main man, got the same goals as Isak last year as well, if you take pens out of it. I know, but you've been telling me that Isak wasn't arsed for like half the season. So, yes, this is Wissa like on crack, scoring for fun for Brentford as the main man in a good Brentford side. And Isak's just kind of like, yeah, whatever. And he's still got in the PFA team of the year. What a player. What a player. Reece took my phone. Sorry, I'm back now. Right, Spurs coming forward. How many minutes have we got? 5. Come on, we'll add 5 added minutes on at the end of the game on the match time. Oh, 2! Must be! How's he missed it? How has he missed it? That is absolutely shocking. Shocking. Hermanson did make a big save, but who is it who actually doesn't score here? Because this is unforgivable. He's onside. No, he's not. He'd have been offside anyway. He was miles off. Who was it who didn't score that? Number 22. It's Brennan Johnson, isn't it? Shocking. Jake, that's not good if he's down in tools, though, Kee. Eddie Howe said just today he did refuse to play and refuse to train. He didn't say refuse to train, did he? He said he went on strike. That was the phrasing that Eddie Howe used. He said once he went on strike, it changed our relationship. That was verbatim what Eddie Howe said. So he didn't refuse to train because he always kept training. The club put him on a different training schedule. He still turned up every day, didn't they? The media knew like that he was there, and he kept taking pictures of him training on his own. So he always the argument that he refused to train is nonsense. He definitely trained, if nothing else, to stay fit for Liverpool, didn't he? Jake, he is class though. He'll do well. I wish he wouldn't, but he will. You will have frustrations, and the realization will hit that you overpaid. I mean, the overpayment thing. The overpayment. I think if you pay that sort of money for us to justify that fee, some people will expect that he wins multiple Ballon d'Ors, Liverpool win 2 to 3 Premier League titles, probably 2 to 3 Champions Leagues, and then you could look at it and go, oh, it's cheap then. But even then, it must be 3. Must be. Ah, what are you doing? What are you doing? Who was that? Is that Kudus? Ah, Christ, talk about rip-off. West Ham have ripped these off. What are you doing? Hit it. Shocking. Harrison, am I in the wrong here? I'm a Burnley fan and triple captain Ekatike on FPL. Yeah, I mean, I don't think Ekatike scores a hat-trick. But I think he plays quite well and he might score. So triple captain, it's not a bad shout, but I think you could have done better this weekend with triple captains. I would have probably gone for the triple captain of Haaland. I think he's going to score a few tomorrow against United. Swifty, they love a strike in Liverpool. He's at the ideal place. Jake, he said relationship broke down when he went on strike and refused to play and train. Okay, well, I'll stand corrected if those... I didn't see those last words were included. Refused to play and train. I didn't see that. Let me see. No, he said the moment he went on strike, the relationship changed. And yeah, I think that was the turning point in our relationship. He didn't say at any point refused to play or refused to train. That's the quote I've got in front of me here. Unless I've got it from a wrong source or you've got it from somewhere else. But he said strike. He hasn't said refuse to train or refuse to play. Which I think is an important distinction. Player of the match, Lucas Bergvall. I think it has to be. What a player. What a fabulous player he is. Right, well, we are very close to full time here. I think this could be it. West Ham 0, Spurs 3. And I will be back in about 20 minutes. Half an hour, there or thereabouts, for Brentford. Against Chelsea. And we'll do Brentford-Chelsea. Right, I'll be back. Yeah, I'll be back in 20 minutes, half an hour for Brentford against Chelsea. Take it easy, see you soon, and hopefully you rejoin me for that.